feel like if PPP was doing this interview, he would go, now, the border has been a problem for a long time, but when you guys got there, it was like, whoa, buddy. Retard alert, retard alert, retard alert. That's what you know what I want? I want Kino Casino to fill in for 60 minutes 1 week.
You guys got the border. Now you're like totally felted. All right.
You know, I would like to talk about all the degeneracy under your administration. There's been a lot more child trafficking. Like, kids are getting, they're stinky and they're hungry like the Ricada kids. And I need to know if you guys are going to do anything about it, buddy, because the border and this whole situation is felted.
It's the Canadian accent thing that gets it over the line.
Whenever PPP talks about Ricada, he always does the same thing. He goes, your kids were stinky and hungry. And there's something about the way he says it where you're like, it just makes it so much sadder. Like, it does. Like, seriously, to me, it makes, and I actually get mad because, like, the people still ball washing this monster. I don't care if you defend the degeneracy parts or whatever, even though with 5 to 8 kids in the house, that's disgusting and we should all be ashamed of ourselves and we should all have tomatoes thrown at us by the internet. So anybody still ball washing that is a monstrous piece of shit for defending an Arrested Development having animal. But the fact that people forget about the kid being on cocaine and they don't just want somebody to have to face the ultimate punishment for that. That, to me, that gets to me a little bit. Whoa, buddy. All right. I'm sorry. I talk about Kino Casino. I can't help it. $2 from Stephen Bravo says, Johnny, how come you won't go on MLC? Let me answer that first, because I won't let him.
Because I don't want to go on a show to talk about this show. I've gotten asked for that before, and now I'm done with it. So I've made that pretty clear.
In fairness, the last time that happened, you didn't go on that show to talk about this show.
Right, but that's just what, like, it's very obvious certain shows, that one, and again, MLC, I'm not going on there because they're so interested in what I'm up to. No, they want to talk about this show, and that's fine. They can talk about this show all day long. That doesn't mean I have to do it. I will say this. I think the one show you could go on where you could talk to the host beforehand and say, I want this, and this, is Kevin Brennan. Right.
I will say this. I will take this to the grave with me. Kevin Brennan is very fair with how he runs his show, how he treats his guests, how he listens to his guests. He's actually, like, in this whole arena, Kevin's the most reasonable, human, fair guy in the whole thing. Everyone else is just an internet monster who's, like, not even human anymore. Kevin's a solid dude. Kevin's a good guy.
Which is funny given the sound drop we have of him.
Bappa Shab says Kevin Brennan is a gentle lover, according to Aaron. I think the reason I kind of gravitate towards Kevin Brennan more is that Kevin's like me. He does a show. He has children. He has a family. And he often goes and takes care of them, while all these other people that hate him just go on the internet and seethe all day. And he's just like, I don't give a shit. Like, Kevin and I are very much alike in that sense.
But I just, again, like, I don't know why people don't understand this. I'm bored of going on a show. Literally, I'm bored of talking to anybody on the internet. And, so tell me about this about Aaron. Give me this about the Steel Toe show. I want to know this or that. Like, I don't want to talk about this stuff. If that's what you want to talk about, that's fine. But if you can't understand, the simple person's willing is like, so you want to discuss this topic. Yeah, I'm kind of bored with that. Well, I'm not going to do it.
Well, here's the thing. You have a show that you do, and you would like to see its numbers get better. So when someone asks you to go on their show, you look at it and you go, I can grow my numbers. I can use this audience
about my shit,
grab more fans. And I just imagine, like, the deflation and the shitty feeling you get when you go on there and you're like, I'm going to promote myself. I'm going to do this. And then the people go, so Aaron, what do you, and you're just like, well, fuck you, dude.
I get annoyed with it on my show at this point where I'm just like, guys, can I do a show about my show? Like, this is Aaron or that guy's there. Like, can we leave Steel Toe out of it for 5 minutes? Like, this isn't the Steel Toe show.
Like, that's why, like, I've said this before and I've been right about it. And as the internet tears them apart, it's kind of true. I've always said Melton has to have the lowest self-esteem and the lowest sense of self-worth, that his whole show and the only reason he has an audience is because I have one. and he
Right.
watches like it's about someone else. It's like that's such a cucky way to do a show, is that you couldn't do it on your own, so you had to tap out and just try to grab people who dislike someone else. It's like, if you have dignity, you can't do that. Like, you have dignity, so you're like, I'm not going to go on a show so someone can trick me into coming on then talking about someone else. But if they tell me to talk about someone else, then I can decide if I want to do it. But, like, if you don't have any dignity, you can be like, oh, any port in a storm, it's fine. It's like, that's a prison of its own making, and that's too bad. Sam Show says, I find Kevin Brennan yelling at people pretty funny. It's always pretty insane. Really
I'm not
is.
saying Kevin Brennan doesn't do a good show. I didn't, or anything like that, or that it's not entertaining. I just said clearly the stuff they want to do isn't what I'm interested in doing. I do this show. I don't want to go on other shows to talk about this show when I'm not doing this show.
How dare you?
And I do my own show. Like, this is the thing too. Like, I went on Mikey's show on Monday. It's just like, if I keep scheduling and doing other people's shows too, when do I have time where I'm not sitting in front of this computer? Monday, I had stuff I wanted to do at my desk, but after I got done with Mikey's show, I was like, I got to go to bed. I got other stuff to do. And then this morning when I got done with the show, I'm like, I need to just not sit at this desk. Or not this morning, yesterday morning when I got done with the show, I was like, I need to not sit at this desk for at least an hour. So I literally left the desk and I just sat somewhere else, did something else. I don't want to sit here all the time to go on other people's shows to talk about stuff I'm doing on this show. Like, you can watch me on this show, and if you want to support me when I'm on this show, support this show. Like, and I know the concerned trolls don't mean it, but we want to support Johnny. Yeah, then support this show, asshole.
Don't you love that they think they're playing 3D chess and we just laugh at them?
Yeah, what's Johnny's PayPal? I want to support him. Like, one, we both know if I linked it, you wouldn't support jack shit. Two, you can find my PayPal on your own. Like, you could look me up, like, watch my show and support that stuff. Three, the whole, like, I want to support Johnny, so let's cream this guy into the ground so that way he can't pay Johnny anymore. That's support. What?
There's nothing worse than being like this Jack Peters guy on Rumble. He's like, we're just ripping you to shreds. You're not. You're embarrassing yourself as we do a fun show and make a shitload of money today, and you have to seethe about it. They're like, oh, no, we're just thinking that they're pulling one over on us or playing 3D chess. The best part about it is them not knowing or not being able to realize that we're going, guys. It's like a little kid thinking they're sneaking out of their bedroom, and the parents are just staring at them going, what are you doing? Like,
I can see you.
We see you. It's not, you're not sneaky. They're like, yes, I am. I'm totally sneaky. Sorry, kiddo. You're not. And I know you pissed your pants. All right. I'm rewatching Breaking Bad right now, and it just gets early. The more you watch it, the more you rewatch it, the earlier and earlier in the show you hate Walt, but you always hate Skylar. You always hate Skylar.
Well, Skylar's hateable for a reason. Walt is someone who gets motivated to do the wrong thing for the right reasons. Like, Skylar's one of these stuffs her nose up at it, but then takes all of the advantages and the benefits. Has a downside and gets pissed. I
should have maybe saw this as a red flag in my last marriage. When we would watch that show, I'd always go off about Skylar, be like, "Fur, she's a piece of shit." And April's like, "What? I don't think she's a piece of shit." I go, she's against this. Walt's such a terrible guy, but he's the only one getting off his fin ass and doing something while he's rotting from cancer, and he's giving her all this money, and I hate her. You move out of the house, you get the out of there. Don't take the money if you want to morally preen about it, bitch. You're an asshole. You're a duplicitous cunt. And I would go off on this rant, and April's like, what? I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm like, nah, that's what you got to do. Guys, if you start dating someone, do me a favor. Watch Breaking Bad together, and if they hate Skylar, you can marry them. If they think Skylar is being completely reasonable, run.